What's up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Great Child, and it's time for another brand you sleeping on that you should. Now, in all fairness, I feel like this brand made you sleep on it because it's like you don't hear anything about it. They ain't launched nothing new. They ain't really talking about that. So it's kind of their own fault that you sleeping on them because they gotta actually push themselves out to the market in order for you to see them. However, the old school beauty people know about them, and I feel like they just kind of like push them to the side because they wasn't coming out with anything new, and people want to see what's new. So without further ado, I should probably tell you the brand is, and it is none other than CoverFX. So honey, CoverFX was giving the girls stuff when I first came to the beauty community. Everybody's talking about CoverFX. It was CoverFX this, CoverFX that, CoverFX. And then I feel like they just kind of fizzled off into the sunset. I know they got bought by someone else, so I don't know if that's why they're not marketing the way they used to and they're not pushing out products the way they used to. Not that they pushed them out that often, but I feel like when they did, they were well executed. The product's quality was always amazing, and everybody had it in their favorites, and everybody was talking about it using it because it was that girl. So I wanted to remind you that CoverFX is still that girl, honey. And they actually have deals pretty often because they still email me about the deal. So I want to remind you that they're there, that they have some quality standard products, and if you get an email about a deal, you should go ahead and, you know, like look into it and try it out because they have tried and true stuff. So let me show you some of the stuff I like. Now, I forgot to bring my primer. They have a really nice gripping primer. You know, like all these gripping primers people are trying to sell now they have their own version of a nice gripping primer. I just ran off and forgot to bring it because it's not when I use that often. Again, I myself don't use CoverFX that often, at least on camera when I talk to you. I do use it off camera though, and some of these products I'm going to show you I still use off camera, and some other beauty gurus do as well, like Jackie Ina. But y'all know Jackie just uses staple things that she uses and loves since she hasn't reviewed new makeup in for 500 years. So, yeah. That's not shade either. That's just like, you know, Jackie over there cleaning her house and, you know, trying to tell you about perfume. She's not really trying to like tell you makeup like she used to. So, it wasn't shade. It was all facts. Let's get into it. So, since I don't have the primer, they had a whole bunch of different primers. So, they had a gripping one. They had one that was supposed to smooth pores. They had like a water, I think it's called water cloud or something like that. So they had a lot of different primers. I think they had one for acne as well, don't quote me, but I usually use the gripping one. That's the only one I still have. I think that's the only one I ever had though, but it was a nice product. It did what it was supposed to do. It wasn't anything revolutionary or exceptional, but you know, like it did a good job. Now this is one that everybody's talking about, loved, had to have. It was the CoverFX Power Play Foundation and Concealer. They also had another foundation that they came out with that Jaclyn Hill used to rave about. I forgot it was, I think it was Natural Finish or something like that. I forgot the exact name. I decluttered mine because it's kind of old and there are more formulas out now that, you know, are nicer and more relevant to the times going on now. Not that it was a bad product because I still like the foundation. I still wore it from time to time. It was just more, it was super old and I knew I was going to buy another one because it wouldn't be essential to the channel, but it's not because it wasn't good. Now, I still use this. I don't care what you say. I still use my CoverFX. I like the shade N90. I have the shade G92, but I prefer the neutral when it comes to foundation and the golden when it comes to concealer. So in the concealer, I have the shade G Deep 2, and then I have neutral Deep 2 as well. This combo right here, honey, the skin will be looking amazing. You'll be looking amazing. I remember when Too Much Mouth used to always talk about this concealer. She didn't really talk about the foundation that much, but she was always talking about this concealer, like, honey. So these two products, they're still giving. They are still amazing. I still use the foundation now, not necessarily concealer because it's made with like this weird little ball on it that all of us were confused about and didn't like. Like, see, it's just a weird little ball. Like, why? Just why? We never solved that mystery. Maybe Scooby-Doo and the gang can go solve it. We don't know why there was a little random ball on here, but it was there. I don't know. But that doesn't change the fact the product was amazing, and it's still a great product to use. I just prefer to use the foundation because I don't like the little weird ball. But honey, if you want that your skin but better look, I don't know if I put this in my video or not. I might not have, just because it's an older product and you'd probably have to go rebuy it, but I'm not saying it's not worth to rebuy because I definitely feel like it is. It's an interesting component too though, because it has like the little squeeze top, if you will. It's not and I did use it because you can see it's dirty on the inside there. It's just, I don't know. The packaging for both of these to me was just really weird, but I was willing to do it with the foundation, just not so much with the concealer because it's like I don't like the little weird ball. But both products are phenomenal, and you need to, you know, pull them out and remember, or maybe not because they might break out your face. I don't know, girl. Maybe stick to the powder ones we're gonna talk about next. So next I have the CoverFX perfect setting powder. Now I had the matte one. I personally was not a fan of the matte one. I like this perfect setting powder instead. I felt like the matte one was a little bit too drying for me, but this one worked nicely for me. This is the shade Translucent Deep. They had an original translucent shade and then a translucent deep for people my skin tone who want to set their faces with it. This product is phenomenal. Now I still use this. I don't care that it's old. This still goes on my face, and we all know powder products last longer than you know, cream products, if you will. That's why I said maybe don't pull out that old foundation and concealer if you want. Maybe wait till they send you email about it for 30% off like they like to do and then get it. But it's like the powder, honey, I'm still using this powder. I don't care. This was the second one I had bought, because the first one I bought was the matte one I didn't like, and then I bought this one I liked it. So honey, I still use this powder. I don't care what you say. Like, this powder looks very, very nice on the skin. And again, I remember people used to rave about this too. So it has like the flip top, and then you just press it down. I usually just like pat it into the top and then pour it into the top, and that's why my top is so dirty, because that way I could get it out with my sponge quickly and I didn't have to worry about trying to turn it over and do all that, because it has the flap to make sure powder doesn't fly out. But this powder looks amazing on the skin. Like, it gives you that nice your skin but better vibe, especially if you spray down your face like I do and pat it in with a sponge. It gives all of that and then some. I'm here for it. I love it. You need to pull it out and remember. Okay, girl? Next, we have this face palette. Now, this face palette ended up in some subscription boxes, and that's how people got it. I bought it off somebody who got it in a subscription box, because it was one of the few times I actually wanted a subscription box product. But I know Auntie Jackie still uses this palette. This is the Perfector Face Palette in Medium Deep from none other than Cover FX. I love this thing. Mine is dirty because it has been loved. Like, it has this gorgeous blush that's like your skin but better. If you don't know what to put on, you can put on this blush, and then you have the nice little contour here, which actually to me works more for a bronzer than a contour. Now, I never use this finishing powder in the middle because it has the glitter specks in it. I wasn't feeling that. But the highlighters in here are lovely too. I love Cover FX's highlighters. I think they did an amazing job with that. So I used a good majority of this palette. I just didn't use the two things in the middle. The four on the sides I did use. As you can see, it's dirty down there for me using this bronzer. And I still use this palette sometimes to this day, just because I think it is a gorgeous face palette. And it is an amazing product that you should have in your collection. So girl, you might want to pick that up too. Or remember that you have it and use it, girl. Yes, I'm here for it. I'm loving it. I'm all of that. Next, the Cover FX Perfect Highlighting Palette. They used to sell individual highlighters. I think they stopped selling them. I think they discontinued that item, because I remember them having them and then it just not existing anymore. And I was like, what is going on? I don't know. I'm not feeling it though, but you know, I had an individual and then I held on to my big one, because I had the shade Gilded here in the individual, but once I bought this face palette for the holiday one year, I just got rid of it because I was like, I have all the highlighters in here. Now this is like that bluish purple shifting highlighter, kind of like the inner corner of my eye right here. If you're curious what's on my eyes, this is a battle of, this is the old school versus new school with two palettes full of duochromes and multi-chromes. So that's what's on my eyelids right now, and I used the Playing in Makeup by Yolanda Jamrock Matte 2 palettes for the mattes. But back to this. I like the majority of these highlighters. I think I had the shade Rose Gold here and the shade Gilded right here. This is the shade Celestial. So I had a whole bunch of different highlighter formulas, and it's really smooth and nice. It looked like your skin was better. It's like glow from within type highlighter. So they had some really nice products. I don't know. Again, I don't know what happened to the brand. I know someone else bought them and they just stopped really promoting or pushing out any new products. So I'm like, are y'all gonna come out with anything new ever again? Or is it just like, are you like a ghost kitchen? Like, what's going on over there? I just want to know. Last thing I have to talk about, and I know Auntie Jackie still uses these. I pull them out every once in a full moon and use them from time to time as well. And it is the Cover FX blushes. Honey, everybody loves these blushes. Like, I remember people always talking about these blushes. I have Spiced Cinnamon, Mojave Mauve, and Sweet Mulberry. So, I'll show you what each shade looks like. I feel like, you know, Mojave Mauve is like that bright pink one. So, this is a bright pink. I feel like that works well on people my skin tone. And this is kind of like your blush topper thing. So, this was like the Patrick Ta situation before the Patrick Ta situation, I guess. Except it was like a shimmery blush to put on top instead of a cream to put on top. So this is kind of the same premise as Patrick Ta. You just put a shimmer on top of it, or you can use this as a highlighter, which I would occasionally do. It doesn't give that much glow though, and it's not necessarily made for that, so it might not always look as nice as you would like it to, but that's what I would use it for sometimes. And that's Mojave Mauve. So Spiced Cinnamon looks really similar to the shade that they have in the face palette I showed you. As you can see, this is it. And it has this nice shimmery shade as well. So they were just trying to give you like a blush and then a blush topper, which is unique to what a lot of other people do because they just usually give you a blush. So I was here for it. It was nice. And then the last one I have, Sweet Mulberry, of course, is the one that's my skin tone. But you have to be careful with this one because if you put too much on, you look like you bruise your face and you look a whole hot mess. I feel like this color is really similar to the shade Berry from Dior that just came out. So I'm going to give y'all a swatch comparison of that with this. That just made me think of when I opened it. And this gorgeous purple shimmery shade. I think this looks so stunning. I feel like if you have darker skin, it'd be a gorgeous highlighter for you. But this one I had to use with a light hand or else, you know, I ended up looking crazy, girl, and we weren't trying to look crazy. So there you go. Let me put this in the bag for later. But those are all the products I had to talk about on Cover FX, and remind you not to sleep on them because, honey, they had amazing products. I would love to see them come out with a new foundation and maybe some cream blushes, since those are like the popular things to come out with right now, because their foundations were always amazing. So if they came out with a new foundation and concealer combination, I feel like that'd be awesome. And then some cream blushes to match the shades of the powder blushes they already have. I feel like that would be awesome too. So Cover FX, maybe you should do that and, you know, relaunch yourself and revision yourself and get your marketing team to like show you sometime, because it's like I feel like I follow Cover FX on Instagram too and I don't ever see anything from them. I might not though, my phone's way over there, so we don't know. But I hope this reminds you to pull out those blushes you got from them, girl, the highlighter, the setting powder. I'm telling y'all, these products are fire and you need to be using them in your routine. Cover FX is giving and you need to stop sleeping. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.